to find the recoil velocity. That is, total initial momentum is equal to total final momentum. This is the law of conservation of momentum. But here we have seen the gun and bullet both are at a rest position. So their velocity becomes 0. Therefore, their initial momentum is 0. When bullet is fired from the gun, they will get velocity and their final momentum become m1 v1 and m2 v2. So according to law of conservation of momentum, you can see here final momentum is equal to initial momentum. But initial momentum is 0. Put this value in this equation. So m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to 0. This term is for plus. When goes to another side become minus. So m1 v1 is equal to minus m2 v2. We have to find out the recoil velocity. Recoil velocity means the velocity of the gun when it comes in backward direction after firing the bullet. So you have to determine the value of v2. How to determine? Here m2 is for multiplication, goes to another side for division. So v2 is equal to minus m1 v1 upon m2. This is the expression of recoil velocity of the gun. Now here we can see the law of conservation of momentum. That is, total momentum before firing the bullet is equal to total momentum after firing the bullet. That is, the momentum get conserved in case of gun also, and the total momentum is also constant during the launch of rocket. That is, this phenomena of total conservation of momentum is applicable everywhere. Similarly, now we are going to learn the solved examples which are given at the last page of page number 16. For that, you have to learn the formulas. And after solving this example, I am going to give you a chart in which there are formulas from first page to the last page. That is speed, what is by speed, what is by velocity, what are their CGS and SI weight. But before that, I am going to solve these two examples. First example is that the mass of cannon is 500 kg. It recoiled with a velocity 0.25 meter per second. What is the momentum of cannon? First, when in physics example is given, you have to write down given quantities. Then you should know what to find out and then go for solution so that you can understand which formula is suitable to solve that example. Here mass is given, speed is given, and you have to find out the momentum, that is capital P. So I have written here mass of cannon, speed and momentum. This momentum you have to derive. To derive the momentum, we know the formula, momentum is equal to mass into velocity. So solution here, momentum, mass into velocity. Put the value, do the multiplication, you will get the value. That is P is equal to 500 into 0.25. Finally you will get 125. And I have tell you how to derive the unit. The unit of mass is kilogram and unit of velocity is meter per second. So if you don't memorize the unit in exam, then from that formula you can write the unit. Here, production of mass into velocity. The SI unit of mass is kg. Velocity is meter per second. So write here kg meter per second. This is the unit of momentum. Next example is two balls have a masses 50 gram, 100 gram respectively. They are moving along the same line in the same direction with a velocity 3 meter per second. While reading the example, you should understand what quantities are given. 500 gram. From the unit also you can identify what is given. Gram. Gram is the unit of mass. So masses of the two balls are given. First mass is 50 gram. Second ball mass is 100 gram. You have to write down in given quantities. Then with the same velocity, that is they have initial velocity 3 meter per second and 1.5 meter per second. They collide on each other, and after collision the first ball move with a velocity of 2.5 meter per second. Calculate the velocity of other ball after collision. म्हणजे ते दोन बॉल एकमेकाला थडकलेत. पहिल्यांदा त्यांची velocity किती होती? एकाची 3 मीटर पर सेकंड, दुसऱ्याची 1.5 मीटर पर सेकंड. आणि धडकल्यानंतर पहिला जो बॉल आहे तो 2.5 मीटर सेकंद काय व्हायला लागला, त्याची velocity तो जायला लागला. तर दुसऱ्या बॉलची velocity किती असेल बघा. यू हॅव टू राईट डाऊन ऑल द क्वांटिटीज, गिवन क्वांटिटीज. हियर m1 the mass of the first ball, here it is given in gram, converted into kilogram because velocities are given in meter per second. बघा कधी पण फिजिक्समध्ये एखादे युनिट तुम्हाला SI मध्ये दिले असतील, सगळी युनिट तुम्हाला काय करावी लागतील SI मध्ये. बघा हे तर SI युनिट दिले मीटर पर सेकंड, म्हणजे हे पण तुम्हाला मास काय करावं लागणार किलोग्रॅम मध्ये करावं लागणार. त्याशिवाय गणित पुढे खाली सोडवायचं नाही. पहिल्याला दिलेल्या क्वांटिटी SI मध्ये आहेत सगळ्या का CGS मध्ये आहेत त्या बघायच्या, जर नसतील तर त्या करायच्या आणि मग सोल्युशनला जायचं, नाहीतर गणित काय होणार चुकणार. त्यामुळे लक्षात ठेवा. तर इथं ग्रॅम मध्ये दिले, कन्वर्ट इनटू किलोग्राम. हाऊ टू कन्वर्ट, डिवाइड बाय 1000. यू विल गेट 0.05 kg m2. आफ्टर डिवाइडिंग बाय 1000 you get 0.1 kg. Then u1, this is initial velocity of the first ball, 3 meter per second. u2, initial velocity of second ball, 1.5 meter per second. v1, after collision the first ball will get final velocity 2.5 meter per second. v2 question mark. आता इथे ह्या सगळ्या क्वांटिटी दिलेत. which formula is suitable? Law of conservation of momentum. When term collision is given in your example, then definitely the formula is law of conservation of momentum. What is that law? m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. collision हा शब्द आलेला लक्षात आलं पाहिजे की हा लॉ ऑफ कन्झर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटमची रिलेटेड काय आहे गणित आहे. त्यानंतर पुट ऑल दिस व्हॅल्यू 0.05 into 3 plus 0.1 into 1.5 is equal to 0.05 into 2.5 in second bracket plus sign as it is 0.1 v2. You have to determine v2, so keep as it is. Multiply. After multiplication you will get 0.15 plus 0.15 is equal to 0.125 plus 0.1 v2. Then addition of these two quantity you will get 0.30. This quantity is for plus, on another side become minus. 0.30 minus 0.125 is equal to 0.1 v1. After subtraction you will get 0.175 is equal to 0.1 v1. 0.1 is for multiplication to v1, so we have to determine the value of v1. This quantity 0.1 is for multiplication to v1. To the another side it goes for division. After division you will get 1.75 meter per second. So in this way the physics example you have to solve.